Good morning. Good morning. Hey, dear. I didn't get up out of bed till 10:30. Lazy bones, lazy bones. Who's gonna be joining? Who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. I remember when we used to sing that song. Amy'd know that one if she ever joins. So let's see how everybody's been today. Oh dear, what a morning. What a morning. I need to charge my e-cig. What can I take off charge? John's phone's 100%. Don't fit my e-cig though. There's something else up here that does. Morning, Anne. How are you this morning, my lovely? That one don't fit it either. Do you know? Morning, Joyce. How are you? John's just doing a little bit of tidying up this morning. I think I got to bed well late last night. So, yeah, and I'm having flushes again. Hot flushes are coming in fast and ready. So I've got to make sure I'm drinking plenty of fluid because I don't want another bloody kidney infection because my core temperature can't cool itself with the flushes. So, yeah, but all is good. All is good. Oh, I'm glad you're good, Joyce. I'm going to get John to bring cake in that my mum's made for him when he's ready. I'm going to ask John. Pardon? Why? Oh, I'll have to show you later. When I come on this afternoon, I'll show you cake that we made. Do you know, it was a really good night. Morning, Claire. Do you know, again, we go on members. Hey, Kate. And we go on members, and this happened. Now, I'm going to have a word with members because I want to share the full video of what we did on members over on Main. Because we did catch something. Now, you need to watch the full full video of it. But just bear with me a sec because Jules caught it. So I need to try and put it on big screen. No, what's going on with Fire Stick? So where's the video gone? It's there. Right. So I don't know if you can all see this properly. In fact, if I turn it round, you might see it better. Put it back to the beginning. It's only a short clip, right? I'm going to press play. I don't know whether you'll get to see it. See how that shadow comes? Morning, Joe. So do it again. Get off screen. See that shadow? Right. So on the video, when we were live, after that happened, John was behind the camera. So let's say that's the camera. That's the camera stand. So the green light was under the camera stand. John was behind. And when John tried to do his shadows from behind the camera, they didn't come on the front because he's behind. But saying that, we're not saying that it's paranormal. Because Soldier pointed out this morning when he's had a look back, Soldier doesn't know whether it could have been a bug that went in front of the green light and gave the shadow off. Now, my only question then is, but I mean, the green light, the go on, what do you call that green light? Laser grid. The laser grid pen was low to the ground. So wouldn't it have been a constant fluctuation of shadows like that constantly if it were bugs? Because there's bugs everywhere. So that's my question. But we can't prove and we can't disprove. But to watch it, you need to watch the full clip, because John actually shows you. He turns you around and you can see the traffic from the roads. That can't give any shadows there. The other side to him is a field. He's overlooking the mill. So, yeah, it's a little bit, it certainly is very interesting. Morning, Bon. How are you, my lovely? Good evening. So it definitely is a very interesting clip. So I'll show you again for those that are just joining. But I am going to have a word with members and just see if they wouldn't mind us posting the full video over on our main, so everybody can see how we debunk things how we try to debunk in the moment. Bear with me again, I've got to find it. Right, so it's this clip here. Oh, take it back to the beginning, you silly chuff. So can you see the shadows? Oh, it's key, just overplays. So if I hold it there like that, see if you can see whether there's it looks like a bug front bottom at screen. Whether, to me, it doesn't look like it comes front bottom, but my eyes can be deceiving. Thank you, Carol. So can you see where it comes in from? To me, it comes in from the right first. Or it'd be your left. Do you see? We could do with views and opinions. That's why I'm showing Claire. But like I said, I would like everything to the full video of it to be shown, and then it moves on to other one that we caught. But yeah, so I can't see that PH on my PH. Oh, bless. But yeah, it's we don't know, we can't explain it. We tried to debunk it. John showed us how his shadows would look, and from different positions where he would be stood after that happened. But again, that's the second shadow we've caught there. The first one we caught was actually down. Is it third? There were two on that one night, weren't there? Well, there were, but we can't. We need to look into that other one more, don't we? Because just before that big shadow come, John thought he saw. When you're looking at it, be from your right to your left. At the bottom of the where the trees are, you see like a little shadow just go across the. That one. Which? I'm on about the first time I went. I caught two shadows on that first night. Oh, you did catch two shadows on that first night. Yeah, get you. So yeah, so it would be three shadows that we've caught there. So. It's like, I don't know, we tried to debunk in that moment. We couldn't debunk. Now whether Soldier's right and it is a bug that's gone past the green light and it's caused that big shadow, we don't know. So it'd be nice for, like Claire's put in chat, for those that do follow paranormal, that do like to get stuck in and try and give reasons to why this would have happened. What else could it have been? This is your time. This is where we need you. But like I said, I will put a post on members. Carol's already said Carol said, yeah, she's in agreement. But I just need to check with all other members, because obviously they don't pay much, but it's £2.79 a month just so that they get the extra footage, they get more tarot readings done. There's all sorts happening on members. But yeah, so I need to ask them just to make sure, but I'm sure they won't mind. There was a presence behind John at one, wasn't? And he felt so right. He did, yes, Joe. That were the first time that when we caught them too, because it like come down. And you've got to remember when that shadow come down, there was a wall and a wall. So there was no shadow that should have come down because it was like a wall. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what comments we get back, especially when we share the full video of it, because like I say, it shows you from start to finish, so you get the full thing. So it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, I remember when John took Fifi a walk. I mean, he actually got down into Mill, and you could see in the square where the big back wall was. And I remember him taking Fifi a walk there, and they went into that space, and Fee couldn't wait to get out. She wouldn't settle. She was very skittish and wanted to come out, and it not like her at all. So yeah, I do think that there is something. We do think there is something there at that mill. We do think there is some energies there that that can communicate with us. We've had a lot of communication come through at this mill, where they've actually said the name of the person that owned the mill. We've had other interesting things that have come through that were adjoined to the other mills that are there as well. So it's eldest son come home. Oh, bless. They like John, don't they, for sure? They do remember. Can you remember it, Claire? They do like John, especially when John goes out on his own. I mean, we do get things when we're all together. We do catch stuff. But I think when you're out on your own, I see John's got there's no fear limit to John. As you've seen, Morning Soldier. There's no fear limit to John. So to me, I wouldn't want to be out on my own, even if I were on camera and talking to everybody. I'd still be like, no, I'd be too skittish. Whereas though John's not bothered, he don't mind going out to places on his own. But he does catch things when he's on his own. But we catch things as a team as well. But yeah, they do tend to make a beeline. Whether that's because on like a spiritual journey level that we're all opening up more. We're all finding different new pathways that we're going down. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over at next few. I want to be out in the woods on my own, even if I was. Now, do you know, Claire, when I were a teen, and I think I'd speak for quite a lot of people, in your teens, you're fearless. In your 20s, you're fearless. I used to go and walk through the woods and go and sit and talk to my dad's grave at like 13, 14, 15, 18, 21, 22. And then one night, when I were in my 20s, I was walking and something startled me. And from then, that was when I was like, no, I'm not walking in woods on my own. But it took something in like my 20s to like think, oh my God, I shouldn't be here on my own. But yeah, I think the fear factor starts coming in. But when you're young, you're like invincible. It doesn't matter. John has his flashy balls, no fear. He definitely does have the flashy balls, I'll tell you. He's got bigger flashy balls than me. And I ain't got no balls. But no, it was a very, very interesting night out last night. In my teens, the woods were my stomping ground. Exactly, Claire, exactly. I think the fear factor comes as we start aging and we start looking at life a little bit differently, and the what ifs start coming in. But it's funny because so like, I don't know, so one of kids phoned me up, or one of grandkids phoned me up and said they'd fell, and I don't know, they'd fell in woods somewhere, and it were 11 o'clock at night. I wouldn't think twice about going in after him, if that makes sense. It's like that fear's gone, because the fear of what's going to happen is higher than the fear itself. It's really weird, isn't it? So weird how fear works. Or you've got balls, Fletch. Well, I've just been showing that clip, soldier, and I was saying what you'd said, that your thought process says it could possibly be a bug. And I was saying I didn't know whether it was, because surely if it were a bug, we would have seen more. But we can't disprove anything. So it's a good catch, soldier. You know, it's another way of looking. And like you said, hey Sophie, we have to have that. You have to have that skeptical approach of what else. You know, you've got to work a process. But watching it back, I will be watching when we've got that on for other bugs flying in front of the green light and seeing if they cast off that kind of shadow. In my head, it's not sitting, but who knows? So it's going to be really good. All's good, Sophie. Thank you. Never once did we feel scared in that. We didn't. We never felt scared. It's like an amusement park. Younger me was in all the rides with no fear. Now I think, what if it breaks down and if it malfunctions? You definitely read more into things when you get older. We definitely bloody do. We definitely do. If anything, I would say we were all protected, you know. Thinking back, do you know, Joe, you probably were. And it's like you said, it's like when people say we fear itself. So as you get older, you lose that innocence of not being go on, what's the word? I can't think of the word that I'm thinking. After kids, I lost my mojo of no fear. I freak just get in. But this is it though, Bon, isn't it? Do you know what changes for us? Because we are so innocent thinking when we're younger. I mean, okay, we don't see the danger in things, and we don't see these things that things could kind of happen. And you don't want to tell your kids, God, have no fear. I think you've got to know your whereabouts, but have no fear of that, if that makes sense. It's really, really different. I wonder whether that's why more people tend to start a spiritual journey later on in life, because as a child, you're already on that spiritual journey. Whereas those you're getting older, the doubts of things start coming in, the fears become real, don't they? I know when I had kids, my fears were they were going to stop breathing through night. So I used to sleep with my head over the side of their basket so I could hear them breathing. You know, I did that on all three of them for probably 6 to 8 months. I didn't put them in their own rooms till they were like 3-year-old. I made them sleep in my room. Yeah, do you know? And it's like then your fears start, and then it's like, well, what happens if they're playing out and some idiots come and I don't know, gangs turn up, or again that fear of abduction. You know, it's such a fearful thing to have. Morning, Paul. Time on the other side. Do you know, Bon, you could be right. It could be. My niece is 8 and shows no fear. It's good and bad because you can't tell her. She thinks she's always right. Exactly. Morning, Kim. How's things across in Belgium, my lovely lady? But yeah, fear itself is such a we've just not got to let fear beat us. John doesn't let fear beat him when he's going out on investigations, because he's got to have a little bit of fear. He doesn't let his fear win, if that makes sense. We get a reality check. We definitely do, Bon. We definitely do get that reality check. But I wonder whether, like people say, it's because when you're younger, you believe in fairies, you believe in, and I'm not saying in your teens you'd still believe in them. Some people would and wouldn't admit it because of the bullying that they'd get for believing in fairies and unicorns and stuff. But secretly, I think a lot of teens still have these thoughts that there's fairies and other stuff out there. So I think the innocence is there. And then, like you say, I think once we get to a certain age, especially when kids come into it, whether it's your brother's kids, whether it's your kids, whether they're adopted, whatever reason, kids come into your life zone, and you're taking responsibility for another life. I think that's when sort of like that spiritual side we sort of like lose a little bit. And I wonder whether that's one of what could be one possibility of why people do get back into spirituality as they get older, or is it the fear of dying? Is it the fear of dying? So people think, well, if I need to get back on a spiritual path, it doesn't have to be with any certain faith or any certain religion. But I wonder whether that spiritual awareness kind of thing is because there's something that kicks in. That fear were gone when we were little. It didn't matter. Do you know, you go out when you were little and you think, oh, if I got raw on my back, it don't matter. Do you know what I mean? And I wonder whether that's what we get back later in life. You never know, do you? It's an interesting theories that we can chuck out there. What's everybody else said? You can't wrap kids in cotton wool, but you have to take. Sophie, I wrapped all mine in cotton wool, love. All of them. Even now, I wrap mine up in cotton wool, and one's 13 September, one's 28, and the other's 18 in August. So I still wrap them up in cotton wool. I can't cut them apron strings ever. I could have ruled the world when I was younger. I had bigger kahunas than most men. Do you know, I think a lot of lasses had bigger kahunas than most men when you think about it. Because when you were doing dares and stuff, it were always lads that had said to lasses, I dare you to go first, because they wouldn't go first. They wouldn't go first at all. They always, I knocked about with a lot of lads. I got on more with lads than I did with lasses, even from a young age. And it were like, they were protective, but they were buggers. So do I always will have, I know. But yeah, kahunas. Claire, I hadn't heard kahunas in a long time. Kahunas. I could never resist a dare. Do you know if you dare Claire to do something now, she would do it. She would do it. That's why I've got to be very careful where I dare her. I think she would turn some down if I dared her to do some things. But if I said to Claire, I dare you, next time we go to General Cemetery, we'll stand here, round corner, and you go. She'd actually do it. She'd be bricking herself, but she'd do it because it had been a dare. So people like Claire, you never dare to do anything. But now she's given me that, which I knew before when we were it was the first time we went to that hotel, Claire. What do you call it? Take care, Paul, my lovely. Mosborough, and Claire found a kahunas then. She actually did some loan investigating then, and that were really good for her. Bugs are attracted to light. The laser was the brightest light. A bug could land on it and move around with just a bit of the bug covering the beam. Well, it has to be a bug a couple of millimeters in size. No, totally get that, soldier. But if bugs are attracted to light, why weren't other bugs landing on it? And doing the same things, because they would have been flying through that light anyway. So I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just like trying to look at it differently. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's why we're gonna. Like I said, we'll try and make the full video so everybody can see, and we can get people coming in and telling us what their thoughts are and everything else. There, young Mick. Yep, I could outlast the boys at drinking and still be standing. I could. And now just a sip and I'm spinning. Bon, exactly the same. I have to reluctantly do it because it's a dare. Do you know, you and your dares? Anyway, we are. I'm going to finish up in a minute. I've got to get ready. And we've got to sort our little Fifi out. I will be live later on. I've put 5 o'clock, but it might be slightly later than 5 o'clock. I do apologise. But I am coming on and doing some tarots later. I'm going to have a look at doing something, mix something in a little bit as well. But I'll see. It depends on how I can hold my arm and how I can hold camera and everything else. So everybody have a fantastic, blessed day. We shall see you later on tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to do a drive down trip to Whitby. So I will go live at some point while we're doing the drive down. And hopefully you can join us. And then I will go live from Whitby as we're walking round and as we get to places. Some of it will be on members, some of it will be on main, and we will be doing an investigation tomorrow night from Whitby. So it depends what weather's like, where it's going to be, but there's going to be an investigation tomorrow. So cheerio, my lovelies. Have a nice day. And we shall see you soon. Yeah, Claire, I'm going to get you a game of truth or dare. Love and blessings to everybody across our waters. Mwah. Take care, everybody. See you soon.